What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. My name is Mike. It's my favorite time of the week. We get to do a Star Wars reaction. Bad Batch episode 14 is here. This one's called Mantle. This is the third to last episode of the season. So at this point, I'm really expecting things to start picking up towards the final two episodes here, which I'm hoping are going to be total bangers. But last week's episode was definitely a slower, less plot-involved episode. But nonetheless, I still enjoyed it, and that kind of goes for the season as a whole. Even if I ranked last week's episode as one of my least favorite of the season, I would still say that it was good and enjoyable. And I feel like the Bad Batch has met my expectations and then some. And I feel like the season as a whole has been very successful, even without seeing the finale, which I'm sure is gonna just add to that. It's bound to be really good. But I feel like these last three episodes definitely need to start advancing the plot a little bit more so that we can move forward. I'm feeling like there's going to be a second season that they haven't announced yet, and that's why they have the ability to take a little time here, because they don't need to be in a rush to get to the end of everything here. They've established this situation with Omega being special, and eventually we know we're going to have to go back to Camino, and we met Captain Hauser, and he kind of revealed how the clones are going to start sort of waking up to their situation and, revolting. So it seems like there's going to be more coming after this, and they haven't announced it yet. I would love for there to be a second season of this show because I've enjoyed it so much. If there isn't, that'll be a bummer, but at the same time, I feel like I said, the show has already met its expectations and then some. So I think there's maybe a little bit of room for this 14th episode to not necessarily be crazy and go insane on the plot, but I personally want it to. I know everyone else does. I think we want it to see it move forward, and I think we've gotten to that point now where the stakes need to be raised, and we want something bad to happen now. I don't want something bad to happen, but I'm anticipating Omega's going to get captured at some point, maybe in this episode, maybe in the next episode, but since we know this episode is called War Mantle, we know that involves Crosshair and his squad and Admiral Rampart, using conscripted soldiers instead of clones on behalf of the Empire. So, like I said, we know we're going to go back to Camino at some point. It'd be great if we run into Boba Fett and have him make some sort of appearance and statement in regards to how he feels about Omega and that situation. But I don't want to get too speculative because, that could take us anywhere, and I don't want to waste too much time. Really, I just want to jump in and enjoy this episode like the rest of them. Let's do it, guys. What planet is this? Forest. Great lighting, man. Alright, so we got a clone. Uh-oh. Oh, stunned in just the legs? That sucks. Are these the same dogs that the Tusken Raiders use? It looks like it.
We're being hailed. It's Rex.
No way. I thought we were done with Rex. What's up, buddy?
I received a distress signal from a clone trooper, but I'm a bit tied up at the moment to retrieve him. He's an old friend, and he's in trouble.
An old friend? Who could it be?
Can't talk right now. Sending you a signal. I'll be in touch.
Distress signal sent by CC-5576 is originating from Darrow, a terrestrial planet in the Outer Rim.
But Rex's friend is in trouble. That's more important than getting paid.
Omega would say that.
Fine. We'll check things out. But I don't like it.
An old friend. Okay, I don't recognize the number, but hopefully this is a clone that we know.
The operation is ahead of schedule.
Ensure every viable clone is mobilized.
And the Kaminoans?
We have our orders. Keep an eye on them. Until the time is right.
You best hurry. I will join you later.
Dude, we have to run into Boba Fett at some point, right?
The Empire has canceled all of our contracts.
Oh, okay. Lama Su and Nala Se are going to be probably turning on the Empire now.
I fear they will destroy us, rather than allow this operation to continue.
Probably.
Leave to ensure our survival.
Oh, so they're just going to skip town?
And I'd trust Rex.
Which clone is this? Who's it going to be? Looked just kind of like a generic clone, but if it's a friend of Rex, we must be somebody we know.
So, where's this rig?
We're already too late. The clone was being hunted and was dragged.
He just smells a stick and knows that. It's got some skills. Man, great scenery, dude. This show has got really good scenery.
You and Omega wait on the ship.
Wait, why can't...
Coming here was up for debate. This isn't.
Just put the dad voice on.
What exactly is in that mountain?
He's ominous.
Only one way to find out.
Yikes. They just climbed that cliffside with no ropes or anything. Big facility. Holy crap.
I'm cloaking a couple of commandos, and they've updated their armor.
Mm-hmm. Looking a little bit closer to stormtroopers now.
We'd be going in blind without any reinforcements. You did that on Skako Minor when you rescued me. If there's a chance that trooper's being held against his will, we have to try to get him out.
Attaboy, Echo.
We're going in.
Wait for us! We'll help!
Negative. Stay on the ship.
We've seen this scenario a bunch of times. Is it Wolf or Gregor? I mean, this has to be a clone that's running for a reason. Like, his chip is no good. And no, it's not Wolf because he had a normal face. So is it Gregor? That would be awesome if it was Gregor. Yeah, dude, they look so much more like stormtroopers now. Let's go. Like proto stormtroopers. The helmets look a little beefier. It's like a cross between a clone trooper and a stormtrooper.
50 clone commandos and 1,000 TK troopers.
TK.
I'm not familiar with that designation.
Nice. The original TKs.
Cell block 25. 4 levels down.
Yeah, dude, my money's on Gregor. Because I don't know what other named clone it could be that's a friend of Rex's.
How about you be useful? Get me some food, insubordinate plebe. UCC 5576. Who's asking?
Yeah,
Rex sent us.
it's Gregor.
The name's Gregor.
Yep. Nice, dude. Yeah, I was like, that's the way he talks.
CT-99s. Defective clones.
Hmm.
The ones who want to stay here, who are really defective. I was an instructor.
I don't know what happened.
Clone codes don't work here. You just triggered a security alert.
Whoops. Don't worry, they can't shoot anything.
These are not clone troopers.
These are our replacements.
Mm-hmm. They're still choosing to go with the stun, man. They don't want to kill anybody, especially not their brothers. But these aren't their brothers. To go with conscripted soldiers over clones, but to still have the clones do the training. Stormtroopers sucking at their jobs since the Clone Wars. Flashbacks to Han Solo turning the corner in A New Hope, and there's like 1,000 soldiers waiting for him. Oh shit. Dude, that guy was hard to kill.
I got blown up once and survived. I can survive this.
Wrecker, Omega, come in.
It's them!
We have the target, but we ran into some trouble. We need a pickup.
On our way!
I can't believe Omega held out that long. In her long history of being told to sit still and then not doing it, she actually sat and waited for once. Yeesh. Nice! The beginnings of TIE Fighter sounds there. Nice. He's not using stun. Nice, dude. I forget what those ships are called, but they're like proto TIE Fighters. The blasters have the TIE Fighter sound too. Nice. Oh, sweet. Uh-oh. Gonky to the rescue.
Gonky! We need you!
Yay, Gonky. Nice. Oh. Sweet. Oh. Are you kidding me? Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, that sucks. Gotta go back for him. Come on, buddy. Bro, how do you live through that?
Get the ship out of here.
I'll find another way back. Go, Tech. That's an order.
Omega's not gonna like that idea.
No! Turn around! We
Yep.
have to go back for him! Order them to come back!
Sorry, kid.
Oh. All right, Hunter's under arrest now.
I am disappointed, Prime Minister. A disturbing matter has been brought to my attention. Your chief scientist was gathering medical personnel to flee Camino.
This is most surprising.
A scientist I have use for. A politician I do not.
Oh.
I'm afraid your services are no longer needed.
Is he gonna execute Lamassu? Oh! Did they kill him or just arrest him?
I figured you'd show up.
No way. It's Crosshair.
I was hoping for the whole squad, but you'll do.
Yep. And is that how it ends? Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah, great episode. Loved it. There's a little bit of a similarity to the last episode for me in terms of the stakes not feeling high enough. Although they did fix that towards the end, and Hunter fell off and ordered the rest of the squad to leave. So Hunter's in trouble. Hunter's under arrest. So the stakes do feel like they got raised there, which is good. For a minute there, I was like, oh, they're just fighting these TK troopers, and they don't feel like a threat, just like those Earlings didn't feel like a threat in the last episode, and they were just kind of making a quick job of it. And I almost thought that they were going to get away with it. And that would have been disappointing. But since Hunter fell off there and now he's stuck here, and we got a situation. That's good. I wanted the stakes to get raised like that, and they did, and that's great. At the end there, when Hunter was like, I was kind of expecting you to show up to Crosshair, and Crosshair's like, oh, I wanted the whole squad. To me, it slightly hinted at like that Crosshair may still have the opportunity to change his mind, for his chip to go bad, I know they kind of like did those experiments on Crosshair to kind of like intensify his chip's programming. So it did kind of seem like, Crosshair was too far gone, but I'm still holding out hope that he's going to be able to flip and help. And that it could go either way, but, I'd like to see Crosshair have the opportunity to come back and be part of the Bad Batch again. Although, they haven't really shown many more signs of him switching. But I loved that we saw the TKs appear for the first time, really, in this episode. And they actually named them as TKs. And you could see that the armor, particularly the helmets, is really starting to take on that Stormtrooper look. So we know that Project War Mantle is them using conscripted soldiers. They took his helmet off. They're like, this isn't a clone. And, they explain how there's just an infinite number of people that they can use in this regard. And it's interesting that Gregor was pointing out that he was training them, and then you noticed that the commanders of the TK squads still had like clone helmets, so they're obviously using the clones to train the TKs, which is an interesting thing considering they want to move on from the clones, but they're still making use of them. That's really interesting. And yeah, like they made the stormtroopers basically useless, like we know they are. They can't hit anything. They're really just sort of just bodies to get in the way. But it's great seeing the new armor and starting to see those transitions that we know are coming. Like in the type, like those proto TIE fighters. Forgive me, I forget the name of that style of ship. Almost reminds me of like Darth Maul's ship, but it's like a TIE fighter with like a pointy nose on it. It sounded like TIE fighters, and that the blaster cannons sounded like TIE fighter cannons. So you're really we're starting to see those first hints of the Empire, the way we know it from the original trilogy, starting to appear. Obviously, this is still just after the Clone Wars, so the 20 years before A New Hope still. But in the last couple episodes, we saw like a probe droid, and now we have TK troopers and proto TIE fighters. So we're really starting to transition into that Empire feel, and I love that. It just reminds you that Star Wars it's still there, and what we know is coming. And having Hera appear in the Syndulas, and since we know they are important in Rebels. Like, that's all. It's great seeing all those little tie-ins and reminding you of your perspective and everything here. So I enjoyed this episode. I had mentioned again that the scenery looked awesome. That's something that has not let down in any episode, even last week's episode, which was one of the slowest ones. I mentioned how, like, dang, these scenery shots are like, they're really, really, really good. They look really great, and they're really creating an awesome environment here. Like, it's not like we haven't been to a forest planet before, but this was like forest with like a big mountain, and it had a really cool vibe to it. And that, like, just like the cliff face and the trees on the side of the mountain, it all just looked great, and it had a great environment, an atmosphere about it. And I think that that's been something that's been really successful all season. We didn't see Sid in this episode, but they mentioned that they were on a job for her at the beginning, but then they were kind of, taking a detour here to go help Rex. I was really surprised that we got a quick little another view of Rex there. I thought after his appearance earlier in the season that Rex was going to kind of be one and done. The way he walked off into the smoke in that last episode with him. But nice little treat getting to see Rex again quickly, even if briefly. But as soon as he mentioned that it was CC, what was it, 5576, and that it was a friend of his, like, I knew immediately that this was going to be a character that we knew. And I was a little unsure at first because he just had, generic clone appearance to him. But it did end up being Gregor, which is awesome. Because, from Rebels, we know Gregor is one of the clones that ends up making it essentially where Rebels takes place. So another thing that sort of happened in this episode, which looked like maybe a little bit of a change, was that Omega actually followed her orders and stayed put when she was told to. I pointed out that, like, there's been like 3 or 4 other episodes where they've told Omega to stay put and then she didn't, and it ended up being a good thing that she didn't, because she would, like, help rescue them. But here, that she and Wrecker did what they were told, and they waited, and they were still technically able to help, even though Hunter didn't end up making it. I admit, I actually got a little bit nervous for Hunter there for a second. I thought, we don't know whether there's going to be a second season or not. And, we know that these characters aren't ones that we ever see in Rebels moving forward. So it's not too far out there to predict that. It's unfortunate, but some of these main characters, these Bad Batch characters, are not going to make it in the long run, which sucks to think about. But for the first time this season, I actually felt worried for Hunter. Like, oh my God, are they, like, is this going to be it? Are they going to kill him? Like, is this going to be the end of Hunter? Like, he's almost like the main character of the Bad Batch, so we don't want to lose him yet. I feel like it's an inevitability that they're all going to perish at some point, but fortunately, he's just sort of arrested, and now he's going to be able to have a conversation with Crosshair. That's going to be interesting, and hopefully they'll pick that up in the beginning of the next episode, and we'll get to see them hash it out a little bit. And maybe even Hunter will get Crosshair, be able to convince him of his wrongdoings and the errors of his thinking, and that he'll be able to maybe pull him out of the trance that he's in with his inhibitor chip. And, like I said earlier, I feel like even when this show isn't going crazy and it's not, the plot isn't going insanely fast, like, it's still a well-paced show, and I'm enjoying every aspect of it. And like every other episode this season, I really enjoyed this one. I'd love to hear what you guys thought about this episode, what you think is going to happen moving forward, what you think is going to happen with Crosshair and Hunter. And, the stakes aren't necessarily crazy high yet, but, things are moving forward, and we only have 2 episodes left in the season, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. Guys, let me know how you thought about this. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see a fully unedited reaction, I'll put one on patreon.com/JediJive. I'll also put a link to the Jedi Jive Discord below. So leave a comment there, join the community, and be a friend, will you? So hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.